So hey, what's going on, guys? Here with Bill Madden. My name is Matt Stone. We're going to be talking about this board that Bill just shaped up for me, and I've been skimming it a bunch this last week, just about every day.
I remember that life. That was a good time.
Yeah, when you could just get up and go whenever.
This board was designed specifically here for the Gulf Coast, and it's built the size, the thickness for someone around Matt's height and weight.
Size-wise, it's about the same size as a normal pro skim board, but the way it's made with the foam and the wood, I've never seen that before. So what really motivated you to take that action, the combo of this? Because that's unique to me. I've never seen that.
Well, I noticed riding a couple of the boards that are manufactured out on the West Coast or on the East Coast of Florida, they have a little bit more powerful shore brake that they all skim on. Up here in the Panhandle, it's a little bit different. The waves break a little further out. Yep. They're not quite as powerful as the waves on the East Coast. So what I found out by just trial and error was going out there, and I would barely get to the wave, and I couldn't turn around and continue the ride. And I was like, man, I know I'm not heavy. At that time, I was probably about 30 pounds lighter. But I was like, there's got to be a way that I can do what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
And I started experimenting with a couple of thicker boards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously surfboards worked in our waves around here once you got going, so it had to be the same thing. I was like, I wonder if I do something a little thicker, if that'll work.
Yeah.
So I did a board a long time ago. We called it the Crossbreed. It was a very interesting board. That board was actually a cross between a surfboard and a skimboard.
Okay.
And it was meant to do that. It was meant to get far out to our little shore break out here, and you could literally paddle out on that board and go surfing on it if you wanted to. It was crazy. It was I mean, it was way ahead of its time, and not a lot of people saw it as mainstream, so we didn't sell a whole lot of them. But it functioned. It worked great. So when I decided to make the hybrid, a board specifically for this area, and a board that didn't break your bank book, or your wallet, excuse me, I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go a little thicker to be able to offer what the Crossbreed or a surfboard does.
Yeah.
That's where the whole idea came about, and I think I started hitting the beach early on with this big, thick foam skimboard, and people were like, what the heck is that?
The waves here have been a little bit bigger, just like most places during the wintertime. Right. So I've been taking advantage, especially over Christmas break, and I went skimming literally every day on this board because it's so much fun. And the reason why I fell in love with it is because it doesn't require a good wave to have fun. This, I feel like when I want to smack the lip, I do, and it has that performance. But also when I'm taking a backside wave, I can just hop up on it and then just pop back down it, and it pulls me up right on the sand. And when I do that, that's when I'm like, yes, because that's always what I wanted to do.
Well, you brought up an interesting point that I'd like to also get across. What this board does, because of the extra float that it has, is that it actually teaches a rider that's coming from an intermediate level up to an expert level on how to work the wave. Where a board that's only 5/8 of an inch thick, made for waves that you don't have to worry about it, it's going to be really hard for you to learn how to ride a shore break here in the Panhandle with one of those boards. There's nothing wrong with those boards, it's just the shore break here is different. Yep. So this board gives you a little bit more float to be able to go, oh, okay, and learn how to actually use the waves, I'll call it half power, to get you where you're going.
Yeah, and I've been able to tell it too.
Yeah.
So besides the board being made out of foam, and you have the wood, and it's more of that traditional, like almost like shaping a surfboard in a sense, what's another feature that you have on here that is unique to your board?
What I've tried to do with handmade boards is stay basically the way the boards were invented, just like a surfboard. We wrap the rails on these boards. We wrap the bottom up, and when we do the top, it comes down over that lap line, which forms a better bond around the whole board, instead of just 2 points meeting where it can split on the whole rail.
The coolest part of this board, honestly, and the best part of this board is that you made it.
Yeah.
It's like, I just feel cooler riding it. It's hard to say. I just feel like it's a more special board. Like it's not just I didn't just go buy it at a random surf shop or something like that. It has meaning to it.
That's the thing. Even with the boards that I've made for shops that we put them in, every single board that comes out of here has its own soul. I know that sounds weird and all zen or whatever, but it really does. It has its own uniqueness, its own, like you were just saying, when you go out and ride it, it actually becomes a bond. And I mean, as kooky as that sounds, I know that sounds weird, but there's something different about getting something that you know was uniquely made versus buying an assembly line piece of product that just, you know, performs just like the other one or looks just like the next one. So that's what I think you're talking about.
And it kind of goes with what you said in that last video, is that uniqueness that you love about the walk and the sports. And your boards reflect that uniqueness.
Right. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I mean, going to just doing your own thing, and it's the fact that you make skim boards is such a rare thing. I mean, I've asked a bunch of people, hey, have you, like, this guy hand makes skim boards. Have you ever met or heard of a guy who makes skim boards by hand? And I have never heard anybody say yes yet.
Like you just said, I would say it's probably a little bit more specialized.
Yeah.
I don't know how many skimboard shapers there are out there now, but there's probably not a lot.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's just a passion that I like to do. Something cool.
Well, guys, thank you for coming along with us on these videos. Enjoy them, and please, if you're looking to get a skimboard and you want something that is totally retro and so much fun to ride, contact Bill on Facebook at, what is your Facebook page?
Burning Mad Designs.
Burning Mad Designs. I'll put the logo right here so you can see. So cool, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk soon. Once again, go check out his Facebook page. Give it a like if you like his boards, and it's all appreciated. Thank you, guys.